Alright. So in 20 minutes we should be live.
So I have a some troubles, but okay. So I think we should start right now, and I will join a bit later.
Oh yeah, I started mine. It doesn't really matter if we're not completely in sync.
Okay.
I always really dislike the location that Bullet is playing.
I don't know what is the trouble, cause I was able to start, and now I not.
I can't tell you either. I don't know. Oh, I'm so used to everyone blocking stone, but people are keeping it unlocked. Is that new?
No,
Like nobody's blocking stone. I always do it.
me as well. So sorry, I will join a bit late because I have some troubles in starting the stream.
Alright,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Now it works. So yeah, hello everybody. Here's Varets and Donarty, and we are streaming a game between E-Stars and OP, one of the OP teams. Sorry, OP Overpower, and now is 10th minute, and so Artie, say something.
I was just letting you talk. No, for now I'm being surprised that nobody blocks stone because I always do it, and
Me as well, but the previous game I think with Sadu, he said that this is okay if you have 4 stone quarries and
yeah.
you just collect stone a little bit to make your 5th a bit later.
I remember from Toe that he would always keep it unlocked for a while. Anyways, yeah, I think for me on this map, the big difference is in the corner locks. So you have this lock that Bromic is playing, and this block
These
that's
power locks, okay.
yeah, I wouldn't really call them power locks. You don't really you don't really start with
Can
much more, right?
Can you fix a bit breathe in mics?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, my bad. I don't have the best mic. Can you still hear me fine now?
A bit less, but not finally. They didn't disappear finally.
As long as you can hear me fine, then. Anyways, about
No,
these.
now it's better.
All right.
Maybe not the perfect, but a bit much better.
It's never gonna be perfect because my microphone is really bad. But I don't think they're power logs because you start with the same stuff. It's just that
Now it's okay, honestly.
I think that the location that Bullet is playing, like for me, this location is really hard. I never really figured out how to play there. And the one that Romic is playing, I really like going iron only here. You have like 6 iron mines.
So I think we should use beacons to move quickly between
Yeah.
locations.
So this location I really like because you can go for 4 fast iron mines here, and just go full iron. And then even in the late game you can even get 2 more if you want. And I really enjoy.
So, but the same is on this location from Bullet. Well,
Yeah.
this type of locations is interesting, but as for late game, I think they have some troubles with free space. For example, because here is sand and this is not nice, and here is some decent place for your cities, so not something really big for you. So iron mines is good, and the resource on this is good, but you also need the place for farms and woodcutters for that game.
Yeah, I mean, like when I say iron only, I really mean just going iron only with like no leather. So just like going mills for bread and that's it. Like I often play like that. Like I don't really play the standard swords and bows too often. And you can get like 40 pike, 40 X-bow at peacetime or something like that. Like I've done it a few times on this location. I just get like 40 pikes, 40 X-bow. I think the late game is still pretty good. Like it really takes a long time to die out.
Well, probably, but the tempo is also crucial, and the lead armies have great tempo when producing, and it can be increased un- unlimited, so to say, because you can make a really big amount of farms if your space on location allows you to do it.
Yeah. So like for me, like I've been playing this game for a really long time, like many years, and I used to always feel like it's really nice to go for a big base, like go 10 farms and like have everything and really go spamming late game. And then
Uh,
Fu always showed me like you can play with 5 farms and just as long as you're early, like as long as you have your buildings early, like it takes so long for your late game base to catch up. Like a late game base only really
well,
gets better after like 1 hour and 30 minutes, I think.
I agree that a big amount of farms, something like 10, is much better than something like 5 plus market, which exchange stones to corn. Yeah, but 10 I think is not really big amount because for me when I played the 60 peacetime, 10 was a standard, and even after peacetime I built more and more, and the record on the game with 60 peacetime was for me 17, and the most I've ever seen is 19
Yeah,
farms on this game
for me it was
because
interesting.
player just continue building as much as he was able.
Mhm. Yeah, like when I think of someone just keep on building, I think of Geronimo. He never stops building.
Well, and this is good because if game is going on after your first fight, so automatically this game is interesting.
Did you
Uh,
ever
th-
catch everything about the bow challenge that we did? Like I think it was probably by now like 3 years ago. Do you know what that is? The bow challenge?
no, actually,
Okay,
but
so
let me guess. You should make as much bows as you can.
yeah, exactly. You need to get as many bows as you can in 60 minutes. And like
So,
I started that because I really enjoyed location 5 of Richland, and I would often go just leather only there. And I was really curious if anyone could make more than me. So we had some kind of challenge for a few
so,
months. I
and
I ended up with 127 bows. So I had 127 leather, 127 bows, and 127 recruits. And like
holy shit! And how it was in fighting.
I still play bow only sometimes, but it's like it's really lame. Like it's really good actually. I think it's interesting if you would have one person make only bows and another person only melee, because it's.
Well, some troubles in communication are possible, but all in all, it looks good.
I think like I play a lot of Age of Vampires, and it's really common for everyone to make one unit, and then you have to teamwork. Like it's not common on Knights and Mercies at all, but I think it can be interesting.
Probably. I think there's a lot of games when teamwork is crucial. Even I think like something like MOBA games, Dota 2, for example, has also a game of communication between different roles. But I
Mm.
think in strategies it is a bit different.
No, actually, in Age of Empires, it's really normal for everyone to make one unit because otherwise you need like different buildings and different
Oh,
resources.
you just disappeared for a second.
Oh, really?
So yeah. now it's okay.
I said that in Age of Empires it's really normal for everyone to make one specific unit, because otherwise, like, it's more efficient that way, because otherwise everyone has to have a stable and a barracks. And but yeah, we're not talking about Age of Empires anyway.
Okay. So maybe something about the game, because it's already 20 minutes and we just talked about around game, something around game cases, and not about the concrete game.
Mm,
Well,
yeah, I think, like, for building, I usually really start paying attention when it gets closer to peacetime, like maybe 20 minutes away or 15 minutes away.
well, I think we always can notice something interesting even on
I
20
think I
minutes.
think this is interesting. Like, I would never do this. I would always keep one space between your coal mines, because you're gonna run out of coal and you have to replace them like early on.
Well, it's not a very big problem to replace them. The main thing is not to forget to do it. But when you
I think
just replace your coal mines, you have enough resources, so that's not a problem.
I think it can be a
But
problem. Like, you have to think of it. Sometimes you will be distracted from a fight, or
uh,
also it's gonna cost you
well,
surf
but
time.
the the theme is in tempo, because to make it in this way is just faster.
No,
And
it's like one tile difference. I think it's really better to.
but when you did one tile difference between four iron coal mines, excuse me, so there's four tiles and not only one, and that's a problem. And also the problem is maybe in distribution, because it's also four tiles longer every time the server brings coal from there. And for example, I can't stand the close placed woodcutters because they're less efficient. But I don't think that uh, the same is just for coal mines.
I think, like, if you could put four coal mines next to each other, like, that's like the what fits in, you know. I think I would always go for
Mm.
three instead of four. Like, I would always leave the gaps. I think it's, from my experience, it's way better.
But you still need the appropriate amount of coal mines,
Yeah, but
and
no, but like
there's
usually you can still fit at least 8 or 9. Like, of course, if you can't fit 8 or 9, then you shouldn't. Then you have to put them close together. But almost on every location that there is, you can
ever
always.
even when we are able to do it, I think that there is no real need to do it. The main thing is just not to forget to do it. But as for tempo, it's I think faster.
Yeah.
Well, probably I think there's also a question of tastes and so on, because
Yeah.
we can just find some arguments for and against this.
Yeah. I guess we just disagree with each other. But we can check.
That's not a problem.
We can check.
Honestly.
We can check later in the game if Tomix, if it's gonna matter for him.
Well, the game should be rather long for this, because if this game will be just in one attack and someone would lose and the game ends, we even won't see it.
We might.
But
You
even the
might see
game
it.
will be interesting, and it will be rather long.
I
So
think.
then, yeah, okay.
I think
I think
most of the time tournament games go a bit longer because people, they take
Well, I
less
hope in
risks.
playoffs it will be so, but even if we can check maybe 40% of the whole amount of games was in 70 minutes when peacetime is 60, because it's just one attack and that's all.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens. You never know. But most of the time tournament games go longer because people don't want to take risks, so they play a bit more campy.
Well, okay, because You could take some risk in the group stage, but in playoffs it's a bit scary because best of one, and if you lose, you just eliminate.
This is still group phase, right?
No, this is quarterfinals.
Oh, quarterfinals. Okay. Yeah, I haven't really followed the tournament too much.
This quarterfinal.
Okay.
And so the stakes are high.
And has another quarterfinal already been played?
This is the first one.
The first one. Okay. So who can they play
The
after
opponents will be LT or TJ2.
this? LT or who?
LT or TJ2. This is X-Array, Mercenary, Shady, Stalin, and Dead Sunrise.
Oh, so probably LT. I mean, that's what I.
I think that LT is a favorite, but everything can happen.
Yeah, of course.
Because
everything
LT won all the 5 games in the group, and TJ2 only 2 from 5. So.
Oh, so they still made quarters, winning only 2.
Can you repeat, please?
They still made the quarterfinals, even though they only won 2 games.
2 games, yeah, but because the groups were in 6 teams, so the recent eliminated teams won 1 game or even none. So 2 games is enough.
I see.
And OP, which are playing here, also won only 2 games.
Oh, okay.
This of OP team.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as for games, because it's already quite long, I think there is no troubles with everything, and so on. So okay, I think I should observe starting with from OP. So Jim Poop is he had a different nickname, but I don't remember.
Is
it Remake?
Yeah, it's a Remake. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh, this is a good example of how I would place the call.
Well, okay. I think you have some followers in this question. In this dispute, so to say. Well, as for...
I think that he's going for 2 quick gold smelters. So for me...
He already?
Yeah, he's already going for the second. And usually when I do that, that means that I'm going to make pikes. Like, because if you go swords, you don't really need as much gold.
Well, you also can do it because you have no gold on your warehouse, and at school only 1, now 0 chests. So, well, I think probably because of he just need gold.
No, I mean, like, most of the time when I make the second one early, that means that I'm going pikes or a spammy unit, and if you go it a bit later, that means you're going swords. Because you need less recruits then. Like, that doesn't have to be the case for everyone, but that's what
we can discuss a possibility of making pikes here, because as I consider, pikes are good on the wide battlefield. So when you have just enough space to make your big spam of pikes, and then you can just use your numerosity in the most your best possible way. Because in some narrow passages, for example, like here, I prefer to fight with swords because they are just more tanky, so to say.
Have you played this map a lot, by the way?
Honestly, no. I just streamed the previous game with Sado, and it also was on Nibine Bazin.
But you never played it?
No, never played it. Yeah.
I think I played this map like maybe 20 or 30 times, and it's really hard to get a good fight in the middle. Like, usually you always try to avoid fighting here.
Like, well, if you didn't see the previous game here, it was very fast because top team attacked here really fast from these 2 players. Then they just reacted and go from here with all their teams here, but the main fight was here. because they just going to help and
Yeah, okay,
bottom
yeah.
team.
That makes sense, yeah. But like if everyone just puts their army in position and then you want to push, so it's not like a rush or anything,
Yeah,
then
that was
you have to avoid
really
you have
game
to
with fast decision, not a positional war.
yeah.
Because yeah, I agree that in positional war this place is really bad to
Yeah,
attack.
because if you walk in, then you get shoot from here, here, and here,
And yeah,
and
from
and
both
it's
sides.
yeah, you get shoot
The
from too
same
many
from the
sides.
bottom.
Yep. So,
So okay,
let's go to Shadow,
Sad,
guys. Yeah.
Sado, yeah. So iron is going to be built. 4 corn on the storehouse. He's collecting.
Yeah, he's,
Only 2 farms. Only 2 farms.
yeah, but when the other two get built, they can almost instantly get her. That's always good.
Yeah, because of just 2 sources of corn, independent from each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is good. And he's going, I think, to collect some iron core.
Iron ore, yeah, I think that's really good. I think more people should do that because usually before peacetime you already manage to use it all.
Yeah, that's interesting. When I played, I never did it and never even saw this build because iron core, iron mines were building like for tempo, so to say. When you need, you build, and the one special strategy was to make the farms and woodcutters and so on in the first, and then after a short delay make something like a powerful punch all your iron production instantly with for iron mines and other buildings, coal mines, iron smithies, and so on.
Yeah, I think it's like a different style you can play. Like you can either choose to just, I think Fu usually just closes his storehouse altogether. He never stores anything, and that's a way of playing. Then your base runs really efficiently. But I think it's also interesting to just get your gathering stuff first. So you get all your iron mines, you get a lot of farms. You just store up on iron ore, you store up on corn, and only later on you make more production buildings. I think both can be interesting.
Yeah, but the most important is the result, and we'll see.
I think if you store, as long as you don't get traffic in at your storehouse, then it's good.
Oh, yeah, I think Sado won't get the traffic gems here, but probably because of inn placed here. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he should be fine. But
Okay.
but he needs to get
So-
he needs to get the coal mines pretty soon. Otherwise, it's just gonna take too long. He needs to make more coal mines. Okay.
So yeah, definitely. But I think okay, we'll look at him a bit later.
Hmm.
So Sokol,
I don't really know this
just
person.
honestly, I don't know him either, but that says nothing. Honestly, I think he can be a good player even if I don't know him. But
Yeah, for sure.
as for his build, although he has already the armor smithy,
I
2
think
big farms.
he needs some more roads because this can be a trouble.
Well, yeah, I agree. So maybe something like this.
Yeah, or even just like a really short road, like just like this. And probably stop storing his planks. He already has 30.
Something like this would be better, but longer.
Yeah. But he needs to stop storing planks because it's only gonna be more traffic. He already has 30. It's just causing problems.
Well, yeah, I agree. He forgot to make the fisherman.
Oh yeah. Mm. But at least he has 2 piggies, so he should not starve.
But if he built his fisher house, so it is rather strange.
No, I mean,
not to make anything in your school because he has 5 gold chests here.
I mean, of course it's an accident, but it's not like as long.
Okay, that's not a big problem.
Yeah.
But he managed to do 6 serfs and not fisherman. But okay, so and Tomix even better with iron production.
Yeah, he's also the left one is not making shields, so he's getting some pikes. Um,
Well, yeah, but some pikes are just technical units, so to say. You just keep them on behind to protect your ranged units.
yeah, of
And
course,
this
but
is not a special because pikes can be two types: as many unit and as tech unit. So this is tech choice, I think.
I think it's interesting. Like for me, I always try to put my iron next to the coal, so I usually try to put it here or something like this. So he put it really
Well, I
far
think
away from the coal, and I think it's good.
Not so far, I think.
Like
But
from here to
he
here.
don't have some troubles with distribution right now, as we can see.
I think his base looks good. Like I never built like this here before, but
No,
I think it's nice.
yeah, I agree. As for tempo and for building, maybe this some troubles with traffic here.
Mm, nah, I don't think
But
so. Just because he's
I,
building
so
now.
to say, seasonal traffic problems because of just
Yeah, just
tourists
because
need
of.
to bring resources.
I think this is bad. Like, this is not gonna run too well.
I think he will build a barracks somewhere like here or here
No, no,
because
no.
if
He's
he
he's
builds...
making it here.
Oh, oh, well, I don't like this.
No, I think yeah.
So
I
maybe
think you should put it
the
here. Yeah. It's safer and it's closer to
maybe
your production.
I'm a fan of building the barracks on the front of your location to make the scouting all the map in a better way. So you make some horses, you scout, and you have more information. So in this case, when you play on the front location, and this location is definitely the front one, and
I, I remember.
so
I
you need
remember
to
that.
make this. So the placement of this barracks is good, but not when you have your production here and here. It takes a long time to bring resources from here to there.
I remember
But
that Jackie would always put his barracks here. It was really funny.
last game, Vieto make his barracks here, and this were good as well because he has a lot of fighting on this side of the map, so the
I mean,
fast reinforcements.
It's good. It's good if the game goes your way, but if you have to play defensive, you cannot produce anymore.
As I said, that game was so dynamic. So it was for him. It starts like offensive and then defensive and then again, and they twitches and changes.
But do you see what
So
do you see what I mean with these guys? They're just doing nothing because there's no space.
that is why I hate such a positioning of woodcutters, so close position because of this. So here you have some mountains, here in coal and barracks building. So and this woodcutters really unnecessary.
Yeah.
He's just something like fifth wheel in the car, and then not that. Oh, okay. I'm just a bit bad in analogies, so. We should pay some attention to Eastarts because they are counting as favorites of this game.
I'm looking at
Because,
Bullet now.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at Bullet. He's playing on power location.
Yeah, for me, this location is like impossible. I cannot play here. I do not know how.
Well,
So
Well, we also used to call the solo location as powerful location because they are usually they are solo because they are powerful, and maybe this is not as powerful as some other locations on different maps
no, like
on
we
some
we
other.
call it power location on Richlands because you have extra serfs and builders, and you have extra resources at the beginning. But on this location, there's no difference. You have the same builders, same serfs, same resources at the beginning. So it's not really a power location.
But okay, so
Um,
but he's going to full pikes. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
So how is his gold? Like whenever I see full bikes, I'll
22 chests on his warehouse. So everything's okay with his gold.
I think this mine runs out.
He just need to not to forget to build one additional here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he has 22. Yeah, you're right. So he's really good on gold. So should be
So
nice. I think.
I'm not sure in pikes because pikes really needs a wide battlefield to find their best realization.
But I think he's gonna have a really high peacetime. I think it's going well.
Well, okay, I'm just deciding in the side of fighting parameters and not the building. Yeah, I know that building city for a pike swarm, so to say, is a bit different than to swords one, but
It's also easier because you don't have to go stable, and then you don't really
yeah, for
struggle.
example, stamens. So you usually build. Oh, do you have an error?
No, you're lagging out.
I have an crash.
I think
That
nobody
is
else
not
has a I
nice.
think it's just you.
Yeah, that's me. I had an error.
I'm sorry, Harry.
So I think I should re- rejoin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell them.
So yeah,
You
I'm
wanna? You think you can rejoin instantly?
no, we need to go back to lobby.
Yeah, we're in the lobby.
Oh,
What's up?
I just the uploading of the save. Oh, I'm just kicked out.
Yeah,
What
you lost
the?
connection.
Well, I don't know what is going on. Maybe
Maybe.
change the host, but I just can't install the save. It's just hang out. I don't know how to call it on the finish.
Maybe I
And
can screen share on Discord.
well, maybe, but I think they just can change the host.
Oh yeah, they can try. It's like 9 seconds behind, so. Oh, he wants you to join Shadow's lobby. So join.
Okay, so well, I don't know what is wrong, but I can't download it either from him. Well,
Maybe I can screen share on Discord. Do you know how that works?
not honestly, but you can just save and send me the save files.
Maybe Shadow can help you.
Oh, that is not nice.
I really think I should screen share on Discord. Deadly duo.
So he advised me to delete the paused files.
Alright. Any luck?
Yeah, finally.
Nice. Well done.
So yeah, we continue.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Mitralis, his base.
Okay.
Let's see. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit late on the wood production.
So. You mean wood weapon production or?
Yeah, I think he's gonna have some starvation because he decided not to fish from this. Like this lake has enough fish for both of them. He's playing 3 biggies. He's playing 3 piggies, so he won't starve for a while, but I think eventually he will starve because he didn't fish.
Well, that it looks so because he don't have his fisherman.
Yeah,
Well, it is,
I think he's gonna struggle for food a little bit somewhere.
and no meals. Yeah, no meal. Unfortunately for him. But okay,
But
so
with three piggies, it's gonna be like after peacetime. I don't know. For now, it should be fine. Yeah, I'm mainly curious if he's gonna get his wooden weapons out on time.
okay. So
But it looks nice. So let's
well,
see what boss is doing.
yeah, I agree that this base right now is okay. So
Getting some lances. Okay. He already has a baker. It's early.
You.
I'm looking at
you
boss.
at boss.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So he
Maybe.
has a much better situation with food.
Yeah, maybe he can
because
give Mitrella some food.
Trade to him.
Yeah.
Dynamic scripts allowed to do this even in this version of Remake.
Oh really? Oh, that's cool. I always wanted
But
to have
I
like.
saw one because you know there is lots of games in public lobbies without password with some a bunch of scripts, and when I just installed to read what is going on there, I just found some interesting scripts. For example, trading and deleting roads, for example.
Oh, deleting roads.
Script?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe to make more space for something. For fields. I don't know why we
Yeah.
should delete the road, but okay.
He's also doing the coal mines in a nicer way.
Well, here, yes, and not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there is no reason to make them here in one tile window, so to say. Because there is no space for one more somewhere here.
You should have put the middle ones one tile to the left, but it doesn't really matter too much.
Well, okay.
But yeah,
So
he's gonna have a nice
he
piece.
has a better lead than Voodoo production because it starts right now. And
I'm just gonna.
Mitraillous is just something like this.
I'm gonna quickly go over the bases to see what I think will be a problem. So, when I look at Stocky, I instantly think he's gonna have goal problems.
Hey, you mean boss?
No. I'm gonna go quickly over a lot of people's bases and identify what I think will be their problem. So for me, with Stocky, I think it's gonna be a gold problem. He has no gold in storehouse. It's 14 minutes till peacetime, and he's going pike, which means you need a lot of recruits. And he's making serfs right now still, so he's gonna have not enough recruits for sure. Also, no, never mind, that's fine. Okay, so I think Stocky will struggle with recruits. And,
It seems so, because he's going to make full pikes and no recruits for right now. But he has free iron, gold smelters.
yeah, but
So
you need to start, like, you can start producing recruits like 18 minutes till peacetime. They're currently at 13 minutes till peacetime, and he's only beginning now. I think he will not have enough, but we'll see.
oh, he's late for 3 minutes, not so much.
No, for 5 minutes. But yeah.
Actually, the units starting to starve after 17 minutes and a half of their life. So the moment when you can start to make the recruits is 42 minutes and a half.
Yeah, so then he's about 5 minutes late.
So yeah, right now it's close to be 5 because we are talking, but a minute ago it wasn't 5. Okay,
alright, it's
doesn't
4.
matter.
Nice. Okay, so Romek, I think he's not gonna have any troubles. Looks fine to me.
Maybe. What about his swords? Oh, okay, he has second iron weapon.
Yeah. So
smithy.
Sedo, I said that he might struggle with coal, and I think it's kind of like this one is
As for
full.
coal,
Yeah, coal is a bit of a problem.
well, he is going to be in one more.
I mean, like, he's just a little bit late. Like, he's not gonna get rid of all his iron. Like, this one is full, all his buildings are full.
Not actually full, only 3
Oh, it
core
was
for
it
now.
was, it
That,
was
not,
full.
that wasn't a problem because miner was hungry. So anyway, he
Like, he's not gonna
wouldn't,
be able to get rid of all his iron ore, I think, because his coal was a bit late. But let's see about the leather.
I like this wine. Because wine is rather important for feeding, because in something late game, this is the second component for when your citizen is eats something. If he eat only one type of production, even if this is a sausage, that is not really good. And if he eats, for example, sausage plus wine, this is almost full charge, so to say.
Yeah, I
So
guess
yeah,
I think it's nice to have some wine always. Yeah.
this is interesting a bit, but okay.
I think that like these coal mines, they will run out at some point in the game. They will run out. It looks like maybe soon. And
You just need not to forget to replace them.
no,
But
I
maybe
mean
he is
the
going some
most
tribals with
look
gold.
the most important thing I want to say is if these coal mines run out, that means he needs to get the coal from here, and that means you need to have enough serfs that they bring the coal there. Because
Yeah,
sometimes
I said the same.
I have had struggles like you don't have enough serfs to do every
So,
job, and then they don't bring the coal.
oh, be right. Sorry, I will be right back in 1 minute. You can just continue. I need to open the door.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, but he has too much gold anyway. He's gonna have too much recruits. Like he made his second gold smelter early on, a bit too early apparently. But we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully his iron, like hopefully everything can catch up. Sokol looks like he's doing nice, but he has like weird distribution. Like he's making pikes, but he has the same amount of shields.
So yeah, I'm here. Can you ping where are you now?
I'm looking at Sokol.
Okay.
I was saying that he has the same amount of
So-
shields and armor, but he's going for pikes, so that's really weird. Like he should,
Yeah, and
like he's only
is,
making armor in this one now, but it will not balance out on time. Like
and there is no swords. Oh no, sorry, no horses. So I wonder what reason he's making his swords for. Okay, the stables is going to be, but only 8 minutes left.
yeah, he will not have one horse from it on peacetime. He has 40 planks or timber in his storehouse. And I said earlier on that
Wow.
he should have blocked it. Like look at this. This is a real waste.
Oh, whoa.
I think yeah, he needs to get his market soon, and he should do something with his timber. Maybe make shields and trade
Probably.
for something.
I think there is a problem with serfs and gold, because now he needs to. Well, probably he doesn't need to make more recruits for right now, so he needs to make more serfs, because the sawmills are rather empty, and this is as well, and this is
Yeah,
full
but he
and doesn't work.
has 77 serfs. I think it's enough for this base. It's just like because he's still
It
building.
looks
because
like
the,
not enough.
Yeah, because
And,
he's still building, it's not enough right now because the serfs
I think
are
he
busy.
definitely should make some vineyards, because with this amount of timbers and going some
Yeah, I like
troubles
that,
with
yeah.
food, so
Yeah,
some
getting some wine
wine.
up would be nice. Yeah. But anyways,
because
he should
there is no meal from him.
He should maybe
Okay,
trade
we'll
wood for
see
horse.
what is here.
Mhm.
So the most beautiful base was from Tomix, but now he has some troubles with the weapons. As
Yeah,
I
he
see.
mainly needs to get swords. I assume he has 2 smithies. Yeah.
It's a
This
kind
one
of
is
interesting
still-
strategy to make, maybe a little bit weird to make this mixed swords and pikes, and in not balanced variant, so to say, especially from Sokol.
You can make a
'Cause,
lot of swords in 5 minutes.
his amount of armor plates is really bad compared with weapons and shields. And what is going on Slayton? I can't understand this.
Oh, I'm dropping frames.
Well,
Wait,
yeah, that's not nice.
I'm gonna zoom in so
Yeah.
then people should not get too much lag. Um, yeah, I'm all the way zoomed in and I have 20 frames, so that's not good. Let's see if I can close some stuff.
Well, okay, I mean, I think I just need to continue to observe.
Yeah, you can continue.
As for Bullet, he's going to build some towers, protect him. This is an interesting building of towers, but the most nice thing is the stone. And if he would have some free serfs in the here, it will be really nice in defense,
Oh, this is
because
a
they can.
really nice army. It's gonna be.
Oh,
It's even 4 minutes left. I knew it. I knew it was gonna be big, but I didn't know it was gonna be this big. It's really nice.
yeah,
I think
I agree.
Bullet is one of the best builders. Well, not, yeah, maybe like almost like the best
So,
builder that we have. Why am I dropping
probably.
frames?
Harry. Okay, so as for Mithraeus, we can see also this mixed strategy with, but again, very huge difference between shields and swords for no reason. Maybe he's going to fix this. Well, I think when this amount of pikes, okay, I will later check the amount of horses from both players. As for boss, he just needs a bit more bows. Okay, no, not bows, but swords. But rather decent base. And this wine is, yeah, he just destroyed his warehouse. So wine here and wine here. So this is pretty okay. Oh, this is going to build the second stable, so it can be deciding somewhere in late game if it will be. And Stocky. Yeah, I like this mixed variant with pikes. Is your main type of army mixed with horses. So yeah, that is interesting.
Oh,
I
I
like
was really wrong about the recruits. He's fine. I'm really sad that I'm
it.
dropping
Because
frames.
as I said, free irons I miss this very often. Goldsmith is pretty okay to fix.
Yeah, I really thought that he was too late and that it was not gonna be enough, but I'm completely wrong. I hope it's not gonna be too much trouble for them that I'm dropping frames. I'm trying to play a bit zoomed in.
Okay.
Or
Remake has a decent army, so to say. This is pretty okay. But Sado has some troubles because low amount of bows and iron. He is on a really low parameters stage. I don't know how to call it.
yeah,
So he
basically
has
at
some troubles.
East Star everyone has like at least a decent army. Like nobody has like. But Seto, yeah. I mean, it's not the worst ever.
I must notice the really low amount of horses on this map because maybe Stocky has 8 and Tomix has 9,
I think
but
that
all the other players, even if they build in sword plus bow strategy,
I think
they have.
that in theory, I think it's nice that Bullet goes for Pike, because basically I think that Eastar is a way better team. So you can feel like, oh, the only way we can lose is a horse
As
rush.
horse rush.
So let's just go Pike, and we will make sure that we can survive. So I think that's
But
like a way of thinking.
I think that prevention from horse rush here is this strategy with at least 10 pikes from both teams, from every player, almost. Because when only one player is making a lot of horses, he can protect himself, but if the destination of horse rush will be his allies somewhere on the left,
Oh, but but
he won't.
still, like, if against a horse rush, even if you lose one base, usually they don't spam after rushing. You still have all these spike. I think like in general,
Well, in general, okay, I agree.
and
And
it's
yeah,
not like if they don't horse rush, it doesn't really matter too much. Like if you have
as
either 50 pike or 30 swords, like it's not really a difference. Like it's
I think that the moreover is that the location of Stocky is more vulnerable to be horse rushed because it's something like solo location and he stands against two opponents. So maybe yeah, it's much more comfortable to rush his location and not left locations. As for as for his team.
yeah, but like no matter what, I think it's a good choice. And I think his army was insane. Like it was really good. Like
As we can see from this tournament, Pike spam is a good choice, even independently of the conditions. So,
yeah, we also see it a lot in the Cam League thing, like the 1 versus 1 stuff. We often saw people just going Pike's bows as being the common strategy. I think
well,
Spike spam has been really more popular lately than some years ago.
I don't know how to comment this. I think that the pure Pike swarm is uh, is not the universal strategy. It's just an option. And this option is good on the white battlefield. Well, probably because when you fight just 1 versus 1 on the standard map, which is for 6p or 8p, so I think you have a lot of space. And then,
So yeah. Mm, I think actually
so yeah.
on like the wider maps, then people usually go more horses because you need to be able to move to left and right really fast. And then bikes become better because there are more horses. But I don't know. It's like in
Well,
general. It's also like if a map is really easy, like Thunder makes some maps that are sometimes really easy to build on. Then people will go for like 2 stables, and there's so many horses on the map, and then it's nice to have bikes.
I think that even if every of your opponents have some pikes, I think even if this is something like 4 pike spammers from one team, I think you always can find the realization of horses because of their speed, scout potential, and uh, the risk they are making to enemies' bows.
Yeah.
Because okay, we're just going
Mhm.
because I think horses are really powerful.
So nice army.
Even if pikes are good in fighting with these knights, but not in all around the game potential.
This could be a fast game because the top team is
It
struggling
seems so
for.
unfortunately because Bullet is he is so powerful.
No, the main problem is Tomix and Sado. They will have a group of 9 swords both.
Well, Tomix I think is pretty okay,
Now both of
but yes,
them,
Shadow has to lack.
yeah, like
So I think
these horses, he cannot really use them against Bullet's army. So
he can at least scout with them, and then he can some create some danger to his bows. So I think we should pay attention to scouting. For example, I'm watching on OP, and the first thing I notice is that Romik is going in here to scout his base. So
hmm
Tomix has good vision as well. For example, here,
yeah, it would have been
but
nice if
he will get caught. But
would have been
anyway, this is quite good vision.
it would have been
This
nice if
is
Bullet had made like 1 horse or something somehow with Market or. But
but
Mitralis
this is
is
a problem when you don't have any of them
Mitralis is doing all the
because
scouting for him. So
so
this is
I'm as for E stars.
this
Yeah,
this
this is
this scout is
okay as
really
well.
important. But like it's really important to see this. So well he's not losing it.
No, he ran away.
So that's really good from him.
Agreed. Well, but as for vision, I like the OP's vision more, as I see. This is a bit deep. Oh, for example, this one from Sado. Ah, unfortunate for him because this tower is empty.
For me, it doesn't really matter too much whether you can see a base or not. Like as long as you can see everything on the battlefield, that's like the only really important thing.
Well, I
That's like
agree that this
my
yeah,
opinion.
this is information is not necessary because it just shows us farms and iron pro,
Look at this.
iron production, but
he, really, he really wants to get all those bows out. He has
he is pretty okay with this. But okay, as for battle, I will later say something about what I think about the city vision when you go in city to watch some information and which things you should see. But okay, so we can see that OP is going in to harass them. But okay, now they realized something and they decided to go back for some reason.
I think the most interesting thing in terms of putting your army, it's probably where Mitralis chooses to put his army and where this guy, what is it, Sokol? Because you can put it in the swamp, you can put it on here, or you can put it in the middle, and it's important to be on the same spot as your opponent, or try to 2 versus 1.
Actually, it's a bit different, difficult to because of the structure of the map. So
I think like where to put your armies, like everyone is pretty obvious, well, except for those 2 locations. Like for Bullet, it's clear.
everything
like
is going on be like PvP against
yeah,
between Tomix and Bullet, and the another part from here. We can see that Mitralis is going with part of his armies to help Bullet.
like Sado decided to go all the way to the left.
So yeah, Sado is reacting on this.
So
So
Sokol.
as for vision, OP literally sees everything about E stars, and the E stars still has
Yeah, they
some
don't.
troubles with this,
It's
but
bad
not
that they
crucial.
don't see
So okay,
this.
for example, they don't see this and how Sada is going here, but
Yeah.
Stocky is reacting in retreat under his
Okay.
towers.
So the most important imbalance right now is Sado is here, and his direct opponent is Boss,
Yeah,
but
just
Boss is
I
going
said
here. So
when they realized this.
it's gonna
So
be
Boss
2 versus 1 on the
okay.
left and 3 versus 2 on the right. So
And there is a problem to attack here because of towers and defensive position, but boss is retreating.
okay, Boss is retreating. I
So
think Boss should have
bullet
they
is
should have committed on this. They should have tried to 3 versus 2 on the right, and then
there is quite difficult to fight here because of space. But bullet is going to harass.
like
Tom.
if Mitralis would have attacked, they were struggling for space here. Boss could put his bows here. I think they had a chance to 3 versus 2 on the right, and then on the left side, Stocky could have backed off. I think
Well,
they had some
we can see
opportunity.
that the bullet is going to attack, but I don't think
Okay, yeah, Bullet is fighting.
it's kind of risky, I think. But Tomix
His
decided to
Iron
fight here.
Bullet Iron
I
is
don't.
just way more. I think he will win that fight.
Tomix could just go back to his towers and this more defensive position here.
They're fighting on the
So,
left.
but
Boss is not using his army yet.
problem was in accepting the battle. Okay, and then on the something on the left. I think they just. Okay, this is pretty good
Bullet is
for
winning on the right for
Remake.
sure.
Now boss is going to save this.
Yeah,
Because
because
Sadu's
Boss.
forces didn't kill all of his bows. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like they're lacking in iron. The top team just misses some iron. That's the difference.
Some troubles, huge troubles from this Mitrailus and Sokol.
Yeah, right side is
'Cause,
completely over.
his both are under attack, so Tomix is destroyed completely. Okay, as for here,
This
and
is,
here Estox just repelled the attack.
Left
Now
side
then-
is like somewhat even, but mostly winning for the bottom team, and right side is completely over. So it looks like GG.
Looks like GG, yeah. I think the problem is that Tomix decided to fight here and not just to go back here and accept this battle here in the narrow position against all of the spikes.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
the most vulnerable things pikes have is the fighting in the narrow passage. And do something on the wide field, they have advantage.
Like
So-
they're outnumbered, so he should have been more defensive. Like they're like really hard outnumbered.
22 bows and no market changes from Sokol. So, and this won't save the situation.
Yep. This
Looks
is gonna
like
be
GG.
over. Yeah,
So-
there's nothing. It's for sure GG.
Something even on the left happens. And boss with all of these swords
Yeah.
has good
Like,
advantage.
The top team, they have to do something now on the left. Like otherwise they just auto lose. But they just don't have the numbers. Like
This
they
is
don't have
almost
the.
lose because there is no resources, no any possible ways to help them, and even no possible ways on the left, something like counter attack and, for example, destroy Stocky. They don't have.
No, they don't have.
such-
They don't have enough. But it's like they have to try. If they don't do anything now, they already auto lose. So. I mean, it's GG no matter what. But they have to
Sokol is protecting himself, but he can't protect Tomix.
Yeah, Tomix is total dead. And now.
Okay, we can just. I'm watching on the left, where Sado and Romik is just trying to counterattack, but they don't have enough resources.
No,
to make
they
it
don't have
really
any
good.
melee.
Even
melee.
these horses, they just catch two swords for some reason.
This will be a
I'm not
flank
sure.
soon, and then they will get wiped.
Yeah, looks so. Well, probably if they retreat, because they see this, why they just standing here, I can't understand. I think maybe Sokol could can defend Tomix in this way if Mitrailus is gone, but it don't look so. Because really good spam and the reinforcements from Bullet. They're just going and going.
Yeah, I
There
think
is no way.
having like this just high number of units is really strong.
They are
It sounds
going to
really
retreat when-
really stupid, but just having like 100 units instead of like 70 with swords, like
Well,
power
some
in numbers.
stupid stuff is going to be here because OP saw that Mitrailus is going on flank, but they just stand here, and when you decided they retreated, that's too late. So
Yeah, I mean-
this is completely distraction
Yeah,
on the left.
but it's not their
And after
fault.
this-
Like they just lost the right side, and that's why they lose now.
I
They-
think they just don't write GG because this is quarterfinals of playoffs games.
It's like if the right side was even, then the left side would have been. They were even. Like left side was just like really slightly lost, but they were fine. So they lose
Yeah,
because of the
this
right side.
is-
So the difference was in Bullet versus Tomix, and Mitralis versus Sokol. That was like the main difference.
I think Tomix could perform a bit better than he did.
I
So
think,
okay, we are just going to watch some statistics.
Yeah, the main thing I
Okay,
want to look
we
at.
can see that in stats of stats of weapons is not literally what they can't show us clear the situation because his city was sieged.
Yeah. So when
But
I look at iron bars, how much difference? I think this is like peacetime. Mm, difference
okay,
isn't
Bullet
insane.
was really ahead of everyone here, but Tomix has his decent amount of iron bars.
Yeah.
Maybe a less amount of leather jackets. But as I think the biggest mistake was to accept the fight on the open valley and not in the narrow passage against all of the spikes. But we can see that Mithraeus made the most amount of kills. But I think this is because his attack and flank when he moved from the right to the left.
I think Romek also had good skill deaths probably. Like by now he was losing units at the end, so it's bad now. But I think he was winning on the left, kinda.
Because of numerous advantage, because Sado helped him
I'm
a lot,
quickly gonna check out the fight.
and Mithraeus just going uh, to help on the right. So Sado had advantage, and he helped, but there were still some troubles because they chose the place to attack on the left, and this place was very bad because of towers that Stocky had. So
Yeah, but like
they just can't just rush there and destroy them.
even in the towers he was still. I think Romek was winning against Stocky.
But towers save the situation. They just can't rush in without
Yeah. I saw them.
any
I saw them
losses.
killing some knights. They definitely did some damage. I'm just gonna.
Well, it's difficult to me to comment this. Also, I must notice that Sado has the lowest amount of weapons,
Yeah, he
so
was a
this
little
is a
bit behind
trouble
in like
behind for
production.
everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna check out the right side.
So I don't know what to say to here anymore. This game really interesting. So maybe I just need to show the tournament site with all the information. So
Like based on the vision that Tomix has right now, he should see that he's like really outnumbered. And
he had advantage on vision because he had knights, obviously.
yeah, I'm currently showing his vision and I'm checking out the replay. And like based on what I'm seeing like right now at this moment, um, yeah, you can see that Bullet's army is insane. And like
Yeah, it
this
looks so. But
melee.
if when you understand that his army is insane, you should play defensively.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
trying to say. But it's always difficult. Um,
well, it's more easier in the narrow passages. That's what I want to say. When you have swordsmen.
I've been in this position like a few times when you know, sometimes I fuck up my
Oh,
build.
but
And
definitely,
I think like yeah, you can't really
I
go
must
you
notice
can't go
that.
like all the way to here, you know, like uh, you have to play defensive, but mm,
I agree.
I,
That's
you
difficult.
can try to mesh it in here. That's what I've done that before once, and it worked out really well. But
Well, we expected this because Istarts was the favorite of this pair
yeah, of
from the
course. But
beginning.
I think it's interesting to look at what they could have done different. You know, like
Yeah, I understand.
what is like a possibility. Yeah, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna play it a little bit. Yeah. So this is where I said that. Like this is where the imbalance is. So they have a somewhat like of a 2 versus 1 here, because Boss is currently not in position to do anything yet, and Boss is like hesitant to either go to the right side or to the left side. And I think for the bottom team, I was saying that they should try to 3 versus 2 here. Like right now, I would go back, but how it looks now.
I don't honestly know because
No, I'm
I don't
just
think.
checking out the replay and saying my
Yeah, I
thoughts.
know. I just rejected to do this because I don't find anything interesting in this game.
So just
Because,
just let me do my thing for a little bit.
Because I just can't support you in this because I just can't see what you are showing.
Yeah, so I will just do it by myself for a little bit if you don't mind.
Okay.
So,
So honestly, E-Stars has had economical advantage and fighting advantage.
yeah,
maybe
yeah, it was
maybe
just
game decision advantage because when you as OP, you should know that E-Stars are favorite. I think they can expect this because of their performance in group, for example, and performance and their OP's performance, and that they are playing with a lot of replaces in this team because the original list of this team is a bit different, but still, and they played rather offensive. So, and finally, I think that they just caught on this because they just go in.
Hang on, I'm gonna do my own thing for a little bit. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
So for me, what I see from Sokol, I think that this is really out of position. Like, you cannot squeeze it through here. Like, the bows are gonna block it all together. So this melee, it needs to be over here. And then you have the chance to move in front. Like, it needs to be here or here. Like, this is really bad. And also, Tomix, he's responding a little bit too late. Like, of course, you're outnumbered. You're probably gonna lose anyway. But I'm trying to see, like, what they could have done. And I think he will not get this in front in time. I think this is the best option to put your bows. Even walk a little bit back. It's nice. And this melee gets caught. It's not too bad. But these spike, they cannot fight here. They need to. Like, this melee is with snake. It's not good. And the problem for Tomix is that Sokol is completely out of position here. So this army is just gonna, like, Metropolis can just help this fight even. Like, because of Bullet having so much more, nothing matters too much. But let's say he didn't have this much, like let's say it was closer, then this is a problem for Metropolis, that these spikes from Metropolis, problem for Tomix. Like, Sokol is really struggling to get everything in position. These swords have to go around now. Like, they're just too late. So on the left side, I was saying that I felt like Remake was slightly winning. Boss was showing up slightly later because he was hesitant to go for the 3 versus 2. Yeah, but basically left side is even. Like, this is over, and this is just, like, these swords are still not doing anything. Now he has to move. These spikes are going around. Now these are fighting without any bow support. These bows have to run. Like, this is just not nice. Like in left side right now, like bot side, the bottom team has won, but this would never be like a winning. It's not like they can win through this, you know. Like they win, but it's not. It's not GG. Like, if right side is fine, then this game goes on for a bit longer. Like, some melee shows up from Seto, and yeah, this is all fine. So Seto and Remake did fine, and then they just lose, and that's GG. Seto has some nice skill dead. Yeah, let's look at Sokol. Yeah, Sokol just, he could have killed a lot more with the army that he had. Like, he had pretty nice army. He had one of the bigger amounts. Also nice weapons. I think if he used his armory properly, he would beat Metrellas, and then maybe they have a chance on the right side. But yeah, it was just like there were some possibilities, but it's small chance. They were just behind on troops. So yeah, that was it for my stream. I'm sorry that I dropped frames for a little bit. Hopefully that won't happen again. I have no clue when the next match will be, so I can't really tell anyone about that. But I heard this was the first quarterfinal, so personally I prefer like when groups are over. Like to me, group phase is not too interesting. And now we're getting to the real games. So yeah, let's see what happens in the quarters, in the semis, and in the final. And hopefully I will stream for you guys again sometime. Take care.